Shalom, shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, we want to give all honor and glory to Yahweh B'Shem Mashiach, Yahweh Shai. And we're going to do a lesson called Put On Thy Beautiful Garment. And I'm going to start with Isaiah 52, verse 1 through 3. Isaiah 52, verse 1 through 3.
Isaiah 52, 1 through 3. Awake, awake, put on thy strength, O Zion. Put on thy beautiful garments.
So, Shalakia. So the prophet Isaiah, he's starting the chapter with this. He's saying, awake, awake, put on thy beautiful garments, put on thy strength. Putting on thy strength is putting on Yahweh Shai, putting on the law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
O Jerusalem, the holy city, for henceforth there shall no more come into thee the uncircumcised and the unclean. Shake thyself from the dust.
So, Shalakia, so he's telling us to shake ourselves from the sin. Get out of all that sin. Shake ourselves from the dust and return back to the law, statutes, and commandments. Read.
Arise and sit down, O Jerusalem. Loose thyself from the bands of thy neck.
Now he's telling us, Shalakia, to loose thyself from all the bands of wickedness. Get all those shackles of sin off of you. The bands off of your neck. Read.
O captive daughter of Zion, for thus saith the Lord, ye have sold yourselves for naught, and ye shall be redeemed without money.
So a lot of our people, they've sold themselves for nothing, for naught. And the Lord is saying we're going to be redeemed without money. A lot of them are chasing money, but they have to remember that he said to seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and all his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. 1 Corinthians 15, 33 through 34. 1 Corinthians 15, 33, 34.
1 Corinthians 15, verse 33. Be not deceived, evil communications corrupt good manners.
So people need to understand that evil communications, this corrupts good manners. So if you're not speaking the right words, you're not going to act right. Because Christ said what comes out of the mouth is what's in the heart. And remember, the heart is the mind. Read.
Awake to righteousness and sin not, for some have not the knowledge of God.
Because a lot of people, they don't have the knowledge of Yahweh. They don't have the knowledge. They're going with the imaginations of their own hearts. Read.
I speak this to your shame.
So he's speaking this to your shame if you're guilty of these things. Is that it? Ephesians 5, 14 through 16.
Ephesians 5, 14 through 16. Wherefore he saith, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahweh Shai shall give thee light.
So this is Yahweh Shai speaking, but it's Apostle Paul, but he's speaking through Apostle Paul. He's saying, awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Christ will give thee light. Because whenever you're walking with Christ, remember he said that he is the light of the world. Anyone that follows him, they shall not walk in darkness, but shall have the light of life. Read.
See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise.
So he's letting you know that you don't need to be a fool in this. You need to walk as wise. You need to be wise as a serpent, but gentle as a dove. Read.
Redeeming the time, because the days are evil.
And we have to redeem the time. We have to do this urgently. Like David said, he said, I made haste, and I delayed not to keep the commandments. We can't put this thing off and say, I'll do this 20 years from now. That's boasting, like he said in James. You don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. Is that it? Revelations 3, verse 18. Revelations 3, verse 18.
Revelations 3, verse 18. I counsel thee to buy of me gold tried in the fire, that thou mayest be rich, and white raiment.
So he's letting us know, he's saying that he wants us to get tried through the fire. What fire? The fire of affliction. He wants us to do the things the way he told us, through the law, statutes, and commandments. Even though we're going through things, you can do it. Because remember he said in Philippians, I can do all things through Christ, Mashiach Yahweh Shai. Read on.
That thou mayest be clothed, and that the shame of thy nakedness do not appear, and anoint.
Shalakia. So on that day when Christ comes, you don't want that shame to appear. You don't want to be without the right raiment. You don't want to have the attire of Yahushai on. You want to make sure you have that attire on. You don't want to be found naked. Read.
And anoint thine eyes with eye salve, and thou mayest see.
Remember, Christ said he came into the world so that the blind can see, and those that see may become blind. What was Christ saying? He was telling us to stop looking at everything carnally and start looking at everything spiritually. Look with spiritual eyes. Quit worrying about everything around you and follow him. Is that it? We'll go to stay in Revelations 3, go to 16 through 17.
Revelations 3:16 through 17. So then, because thou art lukewarm, and neither cold nor hot, I'll spew thee out of my mouth. Because thou sayest, I am rich, and increase with goods, and have need of nothing.
So a lot of people they think that they've got it all made because they've got a good job, or they got a business, or they got a big house. But Christ is saying that you need to follow him. He says he doesn't want you lukewarm, because he says he'll spew you right out. He'll spit you out. Read.
And knowest not that thou art wretched, and miserable, and poor, and blind, and naked.
He's saying that you can't see. He's saying that you're walking around without the laws. You're not being obedient to him. He's saying a few things in this. Is that it? Get Ephesians 5:12 through 13.
Ephesians 5:12 through 13. For it is a shame even to speak of those things which are done of them in secret.
So Yahushua is saying it's a shame to think of those things that are done of people in secret, because they think they're getting away from the Most High when they're hidden in a house with the curtain shed, or they're hidden in a garage, or they're in a hotel room thinking they're getting away with things. Read.
But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light.
So everything is going to be made manifest because Yahushua is the light, and his eyes is 10,000 times brighter than the sun. Read.
But all things that are reproved are made manifest by the light, for whatsoever doth make manifest is light. Wherefore he saith, Awake thou that sleepest, and arise from the dead, and Yahushua shall give thee light.
So you have to arise from this dead state, and he's going to give you that light. Then you're going to be illuminated once you're keeping the laws, the statutes, and the commandments. Now let's go to 2 Peter 1 verse 19. 2 Peter 1 verse 19.
2 Peter 1 verse 19. We have also a more sure word of prophecy, whereunto ye do well that ye take heed, as unto a light that shineth in a dark place.
Because right now we're in a world full of darkness all around us, like he was saying in Philippians through Paul, that we have to shine like lights amongst a crooked and perverse generation. So we have to be that light and that beacon set on a hill. Read.
Until the day dawn and the day star arise in your hearts.
Because it has to arise in your heart. You have to change your mind. You have to reform your mind. Like Paul said in Romans, you have to have the renewing of your mind and change the way you think about all of this. You have to be retaught, be like newborn babies. Is that it? And from there, let's go to Ezekiel 36, verse 26.
Ezekiel 36, verse 26. A new heart also will I give you.
And a new heart he's going to give you. If you're doing these things that he's asking and he's requiring, he's going to give you that new heart.
And a new spirit will I put within you.
And he's going to put a new spirit in you. He's going to give you a new mind and a new spirit. Read.
And I'll take away the stony heart out of your flesh.
He's going to take away that stony heart. He's going to give you that heart of flesh. Read.
And I will give you an heart of flesh.
He's going to give you that heart of flesh. Yahushua is the one that does these things. We couldn't have did anything without the Lord's help, like David said. If it wasn't for the Lord's help, we would almost dwelt in silence. Ezekiel 36, verse 25.
Verse 25. Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you.
Then he's going to sprinkle the clean water on us. Then, because that's that living water. Every time we get into the word, it's nothing but pure living water. Read.
Then will I sprinkle Then will I sprinkle clean water upon you, and ye shall be clean. From all your filthiness and from all your idols will I cleanse you.
And he's going to take away all those things from you. He's going to, because then you're going to be walking in the newness of life. You're no longer going to want to do all those things. Follow idolatry, follow idols. You're not going to want to fornicate. You're not going to want to steal, kill. You're not going to hate your brother in your heart. You're not going to have the malice. You're not going to have any of those things that plaguing you now. All those things are going to go away. John 15 verse 3.
John 15 verse 3. Now ye are clean through the word which I have spoken unto you.
So this is Yahushua speaking in the book of John. He says, you are clean just by the words that I've spoken unto you. The word is what cleanses us up. It's this living water that gives us the cleansing. It's the washing of the water by the word. Psalms 24 verse 3 through 5.
Psalms 24 verse 3 through 5. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord?
So now the Lord is telling us who's going to ascend up to the hills of the Lord. Who's going to go up there? Read.
Or who shall stand in his holy place?
And who's going to stand in his holy place? Remember, and I believe it was Psalms chapter 7 where he said the fools are not going to stand in his sight. He hateth all workers of iniquity. Psalms chapter 5. He said that. And so the fools aren't going to stand in his sight. Read on.
He that hath clean hands and a pure heart.
Only the ones that have clean hands and a pure heart. Their heart has to be right. People could be out saying shalom, oh, all praises, doing all these things, but their heart is not right. Really, in their heart, they have evil eyes towards their brother. They have that hatred, that malice. They have all these different things going on in their mind, which is the heart. Then the Lord said they're not going nowhere with them because their hearts are not right. Read.
Who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully.
See, you can't be lying. You haven't lifted up your hands to vanity, all these things around you, and you're not a liar. You're gonna let your yea be yea and your nay be nay. You're gonna keep your promises. You're not gonna keep lying to your brothers or your sisters. Read.
He shall receive the blessing from the Lord and righteousness from the God of his salvation.
Then you're gonna receive all this, all the promises that he promised Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Then you're going to receive all these things that he promised because you're walking in obedience like Yahushua did, like Job did, like Noah did. There was more people in the scriptures that were obedient, that kept the laws, like Abraham, righteous Abraham. Psalms 24 verse 1.
Psalms 24 verse 1. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
See, the earth is the Lord's. All the earth is the Lord's and everything that's in it. The fullness thereof, it's all his. Read.
The world and they that dwell therein.
And the world of Israel and everybody else that dwells here. It's all, he created all of it. This is what people don't understand. They're dealing with the power. Is that it? Revelations 19 verse 8. Revelations 19 verse 8.
Revelations 19 verse 8. And to her was granted that she should be arrayed and fine linen.
So all the ones that keep the law, statutes, and commandments and endure this run, actually it's a sprint. We're sprinting through this life. We keep the laws all the way to the end. Read.
Clean and white, for the fine linen is the righteousness of saints.
So then you're going to be arrayed in that white raiment if you continue to the end. Like Christ said, those that endure to the end, they're going to be saved. Not the ones that go halfway and then get out of the race and say, that's it, I'm not going to continue. They're not going to get the white raiment. The white is the righteousness of the saints. And go to Revelation 16 verse 15.
Revelation 16 verse 15.
16 verse 15.
Verse 15. Behold, I come as a thief. Blessed is he that watcheth and keepeth his garments.
So Christ is saying he's coming as a thief. Nobody knows, not even the angels, when he's going to come. He says he's coming like a thief. And he said, blessed are they that keep their raiment. What's their raiment? Keeping on the laws, the statutes and the commandments. Continue doing this run to the finish line, not give up. He's saying to continue to the end. Read.
Lest he walk naked and they see his shame.
And then the Lord is going to see your shame. That's why Peter was saying you don't want to have to look upon the Lord in shame on that day. You want to make sure you're doing things right. Because then when he cracks the sky, you're going to have to look upon him in shame if you're not walking in obedience. Isaiah 47, 3 through 4. Isaiah 47, 3 through 4.
Isaiah 47, 3 through 4. Thy nakedness shall be uncovered. Yeah, thy shame shall be seen.
So if you're not walking in obedience, your nakedness is going to be uncovered, and your shame is going to be seen on that day. Everyone's shame is going to be seen. If you're not doing the things right, read.
I will take vengeance, and I'll not meet thee as a man.
And he's going to take vengeance. Remember, he said in Hebrews, he said, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I'll repay. See, the Lord is doing all the speaking. People get mad at what we're saying, but it's the Lord doing all the speaking. They hating the messengers, but they really hating the Most High who's saying all these things. Christ was saying everything that Yahweh told him to say. So everybody hates Yahweh and they hate Yahweh himself when they go against these scriptures. Is that it?
Verse 4. As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name.
As for our Redeemer, the Lord of hosts is his name. That's the Lord of hosts. That's Yahweh. Read.
The Holy One of Israel.
And now it's talking about the Holy One. The Holy One, that was the anointed one. That was Yahweh Shai. Yahweh Shai was just like his father. That's why it said, if you've seen me, you've seen the Father. Because everything he was saying was what the Father told him. Is that it?
Yeah.
Isaiah 52, verse 8.
Isaiah 52, verse 8. Thy watchmen shall lift up the voice. With the voice together shall they sing.
Shalakia, the watchmen, we're the watchmen. Everybody that's out doing this work are the watchmen. Said the watchmen are going to lift up their voice together, and we're going to sing on that day. We're hoping and praying that we're part of this, so we can sing on that day. Read.
For they shall see eye to eye.
Right now, a lot of camps, they have some differences, but on that day, we're going to all see eye to eye. The Lord is saying it. Read.
When the Lord shall bring again Zion.
And he's going to bring again Zion. The ones that 1/3 that kept the laws to the end. Let's go to Isaiah 26, verse 1 through 2.
Isaiah 26, verse 1
through 2.
In that day shall this song be sung in the land of Judah.
And now it's going to be a song being sung in the land of Judah on that day. Read.
We have a strong city.
We're going to have a strong city. We're going to be restored, like Joel said. He's going to restore what the locusts and the moths have eaten. Read.
We have a strong city. Salvation will God appoint for walls and bulwarks.
And he's going to take care of it. He's going to make sure we're shielded. And we're not going to get plucked up again. We're going to be planted and sown over there. And nobody's going to pluck us up out of the city again. Read.
Open ye the gates, that the righteous nation which keepeth the truth may enter in.
So now the prophet Isaiah is saying, open the gates, Lord. Open them up for us. That the righteous men that are doing these laws and the women can enter in. Open them up for us. That's what he's saying. Open them up. Let us in. Read.
That's it.
That's it. Revelations 14, verse 3 through 5.
Revelations 14, verse 3.
3 through 5.
And they sung as it were a new song.
And then we're going to all sing that new song. We're going to sing that song. We're hoping and praying we can sing that song on that day. Read.
Before the throne and before the four beasts and the elders, and no man could learn that song but the 144,000.
So that's the elect. 144,000. We're hoping we're part of that, but there's going to be another innumerable number, it says in Revelation. But we're hoping we're part of that. Go ahead.
Which were redeemed from the earth. These are they which were not defiled with women, for they are virgins. These are they which follow the Lamb, whithersoever he goeth.
So we want to be those people. We want to be those virgins that follow the Lamb wherever he goes. without sin. That's what this is saying. These were the ones that were just sinless, didn't do anything contrary to the scriptures. We want to be these virgins. Read.
These were redeemed from among men.
These are the ones he's gonna redeem amongst the men. Read.
Being the first fruits unto God and to the Lamb.
Being the first fruits unto Yahweh and the Lamb, the anointed Savior Yahweh Shai. Read.
And in their mouth was found no guile.
In their mouth was no lies. If they said something, they let their yea be yea, and their nay was nay. They said what they meant. Whatever they said, they meant it. They didn't break it. They didn't break the vow, the oath. They kept their promises. Read.
For they are without fault before the throne of God.
Because these are the ones that's going to be without fault. These. He's saying it. And with that,
we're going to say Shalom.
Shalom.
And give all honor and glory and praise to Yahweh Shem Mashiach Yahushua. Shalom.
Shalom.
Kwam Yasharahla.
Kwam Yasharahla.